on my phone. Okay. Hey, everybody. I'm Jen Pollock. Welcome to Team Call, our Tuesday night team call for the Essence of Plexus, Pink Drink Link, and Downline team. I'm Jen Pollock. I'm a Gold Ambassador. And tonight, Kelsey Crawford and I are going to be doing a training from a podcast that Bob Heilig did recently. And if you don't know who Bob Heilig is, look him up. He is the king of network marketing training, and you all need to get to know him. So Kelsey's going to start because I am at soccer practice and my kid's about to get in the car and drive us home. So Kelsey's going to start.
Okay, awesome. Thanks for the intro, Jen. So like Jen said, we are going to be talking about a podcast, and Jen is going to be the one jumping in about the content specifically. But what we decided to do was ask some questions. So I see a few pens floating around, and if you don't have pen or paper, it's okay just to think about it. And if anyone ever wants to share any answers, that's always encouraged as well. And the reason for these questions are we want you to think about what Jen shares and see if any of your answers change afterwards. Really just kind of assess where you're at right now, and being honest with yourself is always a good place to start. So the first question is, I want you to think about how your upline motivated you. What were actions that they took or something that they said that motivated you? I'll give everyone about 20 more seconds. All right, does anyone care to share any of their answers? No? Oh, yeah.
Oh. I can share, Kelsey, because Darcy's not here. So, but some of this is also Laura as well. So I said, I think my upline motivated me by telling me right from early on, you're going to rock this. You're amazing. You've got such potential. So just kind of that verbal encouragement. And then my upline also shared a lot of their own personal successes. So I heard the growth that they'd experienced, the ranks they'd achieved, some of their paychecks and recognition. So I just heard some of the exciting things, and it made it real for me because it's somebody I knew. Also, shout outs on the team page. So I like being recognized. So I think my upline has always encouraged me, but if I do something, then giving me a shout out. Sharing Diamond Docs with me. So giving me that little like, hey, I was thinking about you when I saw this. And yeah, that's how my uplines motivated me. And then I think I now do that for my team as much as I can.
Those are awesome examples. Laura, were you wanting to share?
I was just going to say, one of the things that was most motivating to me from the very beginning and continues to be really is that my upline really breathes belief in me all of the time, even when I lack it in myself. So we were at a training or somewhere. Oh, it was Super Saturday. And Megan passes me a note that just said, you deserve success. And it's just little things like that. Building belief into you when you don't have it yourself, that I think has been really motivated, along with a lot of the other things that Leisha said too.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, awesome. Okay. Carrie, were you wanting to share?
Yes, I do. My child is having a hissy fit in the background. So
Okay.
no, I was just going to say, like, something that's awesome that happened to me is I'm like Darcy's level 5, and I was fortunate to be out in Maine last summer visiting my family, and just had a chance to meet Darcy at a quick coffee date. And that chance meeting took me to where I am today, because my upline just really isn't working the business. And I appreciate Darcy seeing that I had something in me to run with this, and I was kind of just treading water, and she took me under her wing and got me all connected up with you guys. And yeah, that's where my motivation is, and I'm thankful for that quick coffee date. Otherwise I wouldn't be where I am now.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think everything that stands out to me is how little time it actually takes to motivate the people that we're working with. Like Laura said, even if it's just a small note or meeting up with coffee, it's the little acts that really make a big impact. So we're going to go on to number 2. And Dawn, this will be a difficult question for you being a newbie, but how do you motivate your team? So maybe you can think about it, how you're going to motivate your team. All right, I'll give everyone 20 more seconds. All right, does anyone want to jump in and share any of their answers for this? I'll start. I think a lot of the things that Lisha was also talking about is what I'm trying to do, just by providing that encouragement, giving them shout outs, recognizing them. And I've been finally starting to do more of like the diamond docs and utilizing those and finding favorites.
I was going to say the same thing, Kelsey. And it's individual to, you have to learn your team as a leader and figure out what motivates them, and having those conversations with them as newbies at the beginning, and figure out, is it recognition, or do they not like to be shouted out on a team page? Would they rather have a personal note snuck to them under the table, or a little something in the mail? And for me as a leader, that's been a big challenge for me to figure out with each of my team members, and figuring out what actually motivates them. So I listed a whole bunch of things, but that's where I was at with that.
Awesome. Dawn, were you wanting to share something? You'll have to unmute.
Okay, I had to figure out how to unmute, but so I haven't even gotten into really forming any sort of a line below me, but something that Leisha has always done is she always has the information there, and she always has like files available, or I can just ask her about, how did you share this? And she always has like a great explanation about it. And she's always like, you can do this, and very supportive and positive. So definitely, I think passing that on is, going to be helpful, because it was helpful for me.
Yeah, that's a great example. And I think that's something we kind of overlook sometimes, especially when you start working with somebody new, is making sure they have the information when they need it. Good job, Lish. All right, so the next question is, I want everyone to think of somebody in this business, and it might be somebody that inspires you, but the person needs to be really successful at encouraging or motivating others to do this business. I go ahead and write the person's name down and think of some things that they do that might be different than what you're already doing. All right, now I'll give everyone about 10 more seconds for that. Does anyone have any ideas or strategies that somebody else uses that they might try to implement more? I know the first thing that comes to my mind is in-person events.
I was just thinking, like, the people in this business who I feel like are at the top of their game, who really inspire me to do better, or who really inspire me to like believe in myself more, which I think is half of the battle with this, is like the belief in yourself. All the names that first came to mind, like Jill Renfro, Emily Roberts, Brooke Hemingway, like the most successful people in our company, it's because they are real and they are raw and they don't mince words and they tell it like it is. And I mean, like, that is what motivates me, is people who are not like, people are like, we don't beat around the bush. You can't do this. You have to do this. You better not do this. Like, that's all it is. You know what I mean? And I think for me that it's those people who, like, I strive to be more like. I can't tell you on how many live videos I've been like, just channel your inner Jill Renfro. Just tell it like it is, because I think that that's the kind of speaking that gets across to me. So I try and use it more for my team.
Yep. I love that. Anyone else?
Brooke Hemingway is mine. She just is so, I love the way she speaks and the way she trains her team, and she's very articulate, but then she's also very precise. So, yeah.
Okay, so we're going to do this last few questions really quick so Jen has time to talk. One of my questions that I was thinking is, why is it important for you to have a team? What's the reason for it? All right, I'll go ahead and share where you guys are finishing up. For me, I think it's just wanting to have a greater impact on not just people I know, but impacting more people, either whether that's health or financially, but that's why it's important for me to have a team. Anyone else?
No, I totally agree.
That's
what it is. We have something awesome in the palm of our hands, and like, we have to share it. And I just keep thinking now, this time of year, like, even in the next month or so, everyone is going to be freaking out because Christmas is coming and they need to spend tons of money they don't have on gifts, and like, it doesn't need to be stressful. And what we have here is something that will take a huge chunk of stress off someone's life in so many ways.
I agree.
I put same thing, like legacy, having something that's going to continue on, and biggest impact, and then just the fact that I want a team so that I'm growing. And then I did put security, and I think I remember vividly when I went to my first convention 2 years ago and some of you might remember this, in Vegas. And one of the speakers, and I can't remember who it was, but she got up and she was explaining how she had lost her child. I can't remember, it was like a teen, their child, and that she was saying she was able to grieve because of plexus, and she didn't have to go back to work on Monday, and she was able to mourn the loss of her child and grieve. And then there was another speaker I remember that lost a spouse, and the same thing. They talked over and over how they were able to have the time to grieve because that they had the income coming in from plexus. And so I mean, being a teacher, I am secure, but on the other hand, I just think that I like the idea of building something so that I have some security in the event I need to step away from something.
Yes, that just gave me like full body goosebumps. So thank you for sharing that.
Does anybody else remember those speakers? Like, I can't remember.
I do. I think that the first woman that you were talking about was that, and I can't think of her name, but her daughter passed away during Super Saturday 2 years ago in an ATV accident, and we were all sitting together all over the country. And the announcement was made that one of the speakers at Super Saturday, her daughter had just been killed in an ATV accident. And talk about full body chills, Kelsey, like the rest of us were crazy. But Leisha, I have to agree with you, because when and I know there are other people on my team who probably feel, or on our team that feel the same way, but like I had a baby and I had time to recover. And in the last couple weeks of my pregnancy, I was not like working as hard as I needed to rest. I needed to chill my bones, and I needed to give myself time to recover. And I was able to do that because I had a team. Yeah.
I didn't even think of that, but that's so true. Because even just, I try not to think what if, but God forbid I ever had my cancer come back. I know that I could support my family living in my recliner, trying to get through, chemo treatments, and not have to have the guilt of knowing I have to go to an office job and, missing work. But I just feel like I could help support, and, God forbid something worse happen, I know I can leave this gift, this plexus business, in the hands of my family. So that's a big thing. So
thanks for sharing, Carrie.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a few more questions, and I've loved this open discussion, but Jen needs to share what we've learned from the podcast, because it was great information, and hopefully then afterwards you guys can go back and reflect and see if any of your answers changed or anything like that. So Jen, are you ready?
Yes, I'm gonna. You guys are not going to be able to see me. I'm sorry. We're going to come in and out of lights, and I didn't bring my selfie ring. It's sitting on my desk at home, so I'm sorry. But what we were just talking about really does transition into what I want to talk about, because us working this business and having the goals that we do and thinking about this big picture, we are building this business for all of those things you guys said. And the training that I want to talk about tonight is the name of the podcast is about motivating your team. It's podcast number 95, if you guys subscribe to Bob Heilig, the My Virtual Upline podcast. And when you're talking about building your team, which is what all of these questions were leading up to tonight, we are all building a team for our why, which is what Megan's been posting about on the Essence of Plexus team page this week, is us focusing on our why and really digging deep and figuring out why we are working this business. And so it's dark, so I'm trying to see all of my space. I'm sorry, guys. This is not ideal, but this is how you work the business in the nooks and crannies of your day. So the first thing we want to talk about is building a team is the only way to achieve true time and financial freedom. You guys you can sell some product and have a few people that sell product and make a living, but that is not creating the the legacy business that we are all striving to build. So that was one of the biggest things that he said that jumped out at me. And when you've got customers and you're just selling product, know that that's okay. We're all going to make money selling products, but that is not how we're creating a legacy. So building a team is what gives you leverage with this business and your people. So one of the things that motivates me is seeing my team and my upline also building a team. And when my upline is building a team and I'm seeing her sponsor, that's really motivating to me. And that's how you create leverage. And when you're creating leverage on your team, for your team, that's how you're going to grow and expand. So where I'm going with this is Bob started talking about, Dawn, you're not going to really wrap your mind probably around this tonight, but I'm going to try and do the basics. When you start Plexus, you do that when you talk about the Me Plus 3, it's you building your team wide, and that's you sponsoring level 1 ambassadors. We all need level 1 ambassadors. That's how we grow our team wide. We have depth to build a legacy, and having level 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, 6, 7s, all the way down. You know, I forget what number I am to Jen, but we are all in her downline. And when you think about being a double diamond and what that sort of leverage looks like in creating this legacy business that we are all striving to build, that to me is that's what gives me goosebumps about working this business. That's a lot of people we are helping with their health and their wealth and their legacy business. So as you're building wide, when we're sponsoring level 1s, and Alicia is the perfect example of this, because this last year when her team exploded, she couldn't train her level 1s fast enough. So she was training level 1s, 2s, and 3s all at the same time. And you guys, I have heard different trainings, but Bob Heilig made it very clear in this video that it is our job to make sure our level 2s, 3s, and 4s are trained and so on, are trained properly. So when you sponsor a level 1, it is your job to immediately get them their first ambassador. And while you're helping them get their first ambassador, that's how you're training them to do the work. Hang on just a second. Sorry, there's bicycles and a teenager driving. Hang on. Okay, we're good.
I can handle myself. I'm a smart cookie.
You did a great job, Sydney. So this conversation right here is really why I wanted to do this training tonight. It's for all of us to remember that it's not just our job to sponsor level 1. We have to be able to make sure that as we're sponsoring those level 1s, that we get them those first 3 ambassadors and get them to silver right away. And as we're doing that, that's how we're training them. That's how we're creating the depth in our business. And we have tools, you guys. We have tools that are simple, easy, and duplicatable. So we have the back office rank up roadmap that and I use that with my team because I have people who are very green and very yellow and they like the research. So I use this opportunity to train them on the back office and show them how to use all of these tools that we have right away. And I use our, I forget what the name of it is. Laura, what's the name of what is it?
Training Tools Companion.
Yeah, and it's on the Essence of Plexus page, and it's in the pink drink link. And we're doing some minor changes to it right now to simplify it even more. So we have the tools in place to do this, you guys. So I feel like I could go on and on, but I'm actually being led to kind of stop right here, and for us to be able to soak in these questions that Kelsey posed to us tonight and be able to think through what those questions look like as we're building a team, as we are sponsoring our new level ones and training them to get their first 3 level ones and get them to silver right away, to get them a paycheck in their pocket so they can see the power of the opportunity we have with this Plexus business, because it is not, network marketing is an amazing opportunity that we all have, but being involved with Plexus in network marketing is a gift that we have all been given, and we have to share. Sheila Medina, I will never forget her saying this. Leisha and I were sitting next to each other at the Gold and Senior Gold Ambassador training at convention, and the first story she told was about remembering that we cannot keep Plexus a secret. And I don't feel like I keep it a secret, but there are times when I'm like, I didn't talk to this group of people I was with enough today, or I didn't relay how passionate I am about these products or what this business truly is doing for me. You guys, I bought a car. I bought a car last week that without Plexus, I could not afford. We are self-employed, and my husband and I work our butts off, and because of our Plexus business, I have this extra money that is not going to groceries and life insurance and the electric bill and our cell phone. Like, yeah, soccer and college. This was money that I was working for and saving for. So I'm going to stop right there because I could ramble on forever. But I hope you guys got a lot out of this training tonight. And if we want to open it up to questions, I'm happy to. Laura, do you want to stop the recording and we can do that?
Yeah, thanks you guys for hosting tonight. I feel like this is all really great information for us to think about and just remember or learn about for the first time, because you're right. It's our teams that will allow us to leave that legacy. And I think, Jen, that was my biggest takeaway from you tonight. So thank you so much.
Yeah.